Hi, this is Colter Ahrens. I work for Pro Circuit, and let's go over Jordan Smith's bike. Type of handlebars, 996. Position on the bike, rear hole, 5mm offset facing forward. Kind of grips, we run Renthal, super tacky, tapered Pro Circuit bar mounts on Pro Circuit clamp. We have two different options for the hole. We have it in the back hole, 5mm offset facing forward, 4mm rise from stock. We do not cut the crossbar for flex. We have a special crossbar that comes from Renthal, custom for us. Pro Circuit triple clamps, we'll keep the offset to ourselves. Clutch and brake lever, ARC clutch and brake lever, made out of aluminum. Front brake master cylinder, completely stock piston. Our front forks are Showa forks. The outer tubes are Kashima coated, 10mm fork height above the top of the triple clamps. Our hole shot device is a 2-button system. Height is set, I have it measured from the top of the fork guard. Top one's at 140mm, second one's 15mm lower at 155. Jordan prefers the deeper button at 155. If it's a wet race and the starting grate doesn't have much traction, then we'll go to the higher button. Bottom of the fork guard, extra brace for added protection for the stiffness of the forks when it's being held down. Our front axle is made of titanium. Front brake rotor is braking rotor. Front brake caliper is aluminum, made by KHI. Special made for Supercross with super thin pads, saving weight. Front tire, Jordan runs a Dunlop spec front tire 768F. Front wheels made up of an XL rim with a KHI hub. Fuel tank is stock. We run VP race fuel. Radiators we have custom made for us with an integrated oil cooler in the right side. They are oversized for added cooling. Radiator hoses are all stock with some added material for protection against roost. Pro Circuit made catch can. Catches, if the bike gets really hot, it'll catch the coolant. As the bike cools back down, it'll suck the coolant back in so we don't lose coolant altogether. Throttle tube made by Pro Circuit, hard anodized, very low friction on the bar. We run a data acquisition system that reads all the input from all of the sensors on the bike. The ECU has a GPS beacon, so we know exactly where the bike is on the track, and we can relate that to the gear position sensor, also GPS, and know what gear they're in, on what spots on the track, what RPM they're at what spots on the track. It can also track lap times. A lot of cool data caught by our data acquisition system. Our start switch is custom. It's taller so that it can't roll underneath the throttle housing and get stuck pressed down. We also have a secondary start switch on the rear of the bike on the subframe. Our start map switch is a stock switch, just modified so that we can take it off the handlebars to simplify the handlebars, just put it in a different location. We have multiple different starting maps for the riders to choose from. Jordan chooses our more aggressive starting map. All of our race engines are built in-house in the Pro Circuit race shop. Each mechanic builds our own engines for our riders, race and practice. We have a Hinton clutch system, Pro Circuit clutch springs, stiffer than stock. Our engine hangers, the upper hangers, are stock, just modified for different flex characteristics. Our front motor mounts are made of titanium. They're also a bit thicker than stock, also different flex characteristic. Engine cases are completely stock, just got a lot of elbow grease, make them look good. Jordan runs some grip tape. We have a carbon skid plate as well as a carbon water pump guard. Exhaust system is the greatest, Pro Circuit, can't go wrong. Tie 6 Pro. Our brake pedal is made by KHI. It has a folding tip. Hits a rut or hits a tough block, it'll fold. It also has an added brake snake to prevent from bending the pedal out in the event of catching a tough block. Rear brake master cylinder is stock. We have a brake stop built into the swing arm pivot to prevent the brake pedal from being jammed up, which would in turn pull the piston down and out of the rear brake master cylinder. To prevent that from happening, we have a brake pedal stop on the swing arm pivot. Titanium rear brake piston with holes drilled for added cooling. Our link arm is made by Pro Circuit. Rear shock is Showa. Very, very stiff. Can't go as fast as Jordan does through the whoops without. Very stiff shock. Braking rear brake rotor. Stock rear brake caliper. Rear brake caliper is modified for added cooling. Titanium rear axle. Anodized aluminum axle blocks. Rear tire. Jordan runs a 110 783B Dunlop rear tire. Rear wheel same as front, XL rim with KHI hub. Renthal sprockets. RK chain, Masterlink RK chain, titanium rear sprocket bolts, carbon Pro Circuit rear chain guide. Rider and team alike prefer the rear wheel to be further back. Subframe is stock, not cut or altered in any way. We have a twin air Supercross style air filter for maximum airflow. Billet titanium foot pegs made by Pro Circuit. Titanium foot peg mounts. Titanium Pro Circuit shifter with a plus 5mm shifter tip. Titanium swing arm pivot. Carbon fiber case saver to protect the cases in the event of a chain derailment. Clutch slave cylinder stock. Pro Circuit ignition cover. Hard anodized for added durability. Stock seat with Throttle Syndicate seat cover. R-Tech plastics. Throttle Syndicate graphics. We go as light on the material on our Throttle Syndicate graphics for weight and convenience.